g'day, welcome to Easy Jeezy, Mappin' Made Breezy. Now, I've got to be quick because I've got to duck out and find some headphones, which I lost on a recent run. They were quite expensive, so I really don't want to lose them. So if I get cut off or the video suddenly drops out for no apparent reason, don't worry, I'm just out there looking for my headphones and I'll be back as quick as I can, okay? So let's get started. What we're looking at today is sphere of influence maps. Okay, so looking at the sphere of influence of particular services in the town of Petropolis. Okay, so what we've got some data points here of data that we've collected via interviews. Okay, and we've got the little CBD indicated by a star there in the middle. And let's see how we go with this. Okay, so a few ways we can do this. Basically, one of the easiest ways we're going to do is we're going to use the attributes table of the interviews. So let's right click on the interviews in our contents and open up the attribute table. Okay, and here it is. And the particular field that we're going to be looking at is why are you in Petropolis today? Okay, so first we'll go through a really simple way of making these sphere of influences. Let's go. I've actually sorted these, so they're all the same records, or all the same categories are next to each other. Okay, so let's go down, and I'm going to start with. What am I going to start with? Let's have a look. Let's go shopping. Okay, so let's go shopping for groceries and supermarkets. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over here and just click on this little column here, the grayed out column on the left, and I'm going to select all the responses that were shopping, groceries and supermarkets. So quite a low order sort of service there. So I've selected all these. Now once I've selected them, you'll see that they actually change color. So the points on your map that actually indicate shopping for groceries or supermarkets have now changed color. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the analysis tab and open up our toolbox. And in there, I'm going to search for minimum bounding, bounding geometry in the data management tool section. Okay. Minimum bounding geometry. So let's click on that. For our input features, well, we're looking at the interviews, so I don't need to go to the sample points of the CBD or other things, other layers. Let's go for the interviews. Okay. Now, what's key here? It's only going to actually include the points that I've selected. So we know from our attribute table they've only selected the points where the person was respondent was there for shopping for groceries and supermarkets. So it's only going to include these in our outputs. So as I said, this is sort of a simple, quick way of doing this. So I've done that. We should give it a different name because we want it to obviously make sense. So let's say at the moment, it's a supermarket. When you're giving it the name, don't worry about the rest of it. That's where it's saving all the data, but you just want at the moment just to focus on the actual final part there after the last dash. Okay. Or slash, sorry. So we call it supermarket. Now, in terms of geometry, we don't want a rectangle. We want to go for convex hull, and that's going to give us the best sort of shape for this purpose. Okay, and let's go run. Now you can see little errors come up there on the right. That shouldn't matter here, but it's just because I've got a field with the same name in that same database. But that's okay. What shouldn't appear on yours? And there we go. We've got our sphere of influence for people going to the supermarket in Petropolis, okay, in the town of Petropolis there. Okay, we can make this look a little bit nicer. So let's just minimize that for a second. Let's click on our symbol. Okay, and if this doesn't come up, you can just click here on layers. Sometimes gallery might pop up. If it does, click on properties. You can adjust some of the things here. Let's change the outline width to, let's make it a bit thicker actually. Let's make it 2 points. Yep, click apply, there we go. Don't really like that color. Let's go with a yellow, something maybe not as bright. Okay, like that. Okay, and let's go over to our layers tab over here. Solid stroke. Let's go for the solid stroke, the outline, and let's give it a dash. Let's give it that dash there. Okay, and let's change the outline to maybe that can be a bit brighter. There we go. There we go there. And then let's click on here to change the fill, which we already did, but I forgot to actually go to color properties. And let's make it transparent because we don't want it blocking out everything. So let's bring it up to maybe 60 and apply. So there we go. Okay, and obviously you can play around with these colors as you like. You might think, well, actually that yellow is a bit hard to see. So I'm going to go maybe mango. Let's see how mango looks. Yeah, it's all right. Maybe I'll go an orange. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That stands out a little bit better. So there we go. We've got our sphere of influence of people going to the supermarket in Petropolis. What we can also do while we're here, in the map tab up here, we can actually measure, and we can measure the distance. And that's really good because we can work out therefore the range. Okay, so the maximum distance that people are willing to travel. Okay, in this case, let's see, we've got about 7.9 kilometers or 7,900 meters from that extent there. Let's just check down here. There's CBD, and that's actually 11 kilometers. Okay, so it's a bit longer. So our range, therefore, maximum distance the people that we surveyed were willing to travel was about 11.19 kilometers. There you go. So that's always a nice little thing to add in. Let's look at a different sphere of influence of a different service. So let's clear this. So back in our attribute table. So remember, if we right-clicked on our interviews and went attribute table, and here it is. Okay, now we've got these selected. We don't want those selected anymore because we've already got our sphere of influence for supermarkets. So let's go clear. Okay, and let's choose our next one. So in this case, let's go for, what am I going to go for? What is that? Medical. Let's go for medical. Where was medical? Medical, there we go. So I've got all the ones looking at medical, and I'm going to just scroll down, selecting, oops, just the ones for medical. Okay. Then we can do the same thing. So actually you go to tools, should already be open over here. I pinned it over to the side, and you can search again for minimum bounding geometry. In my case, it's a recent tool, so I can just click there. Import, same thing. I want the interviews, and again, it's only going to use those ones that we've selected. And because we cleared it previously, it's sort of starting again. It's not going to include the supermarket ones anymore. Output feature names, let's call it medical. Okay, and again, we're not going to do rectangle, we're going to do convex hull. It's a nicer shape for this purpose. And let's go run. Whoa, there we go. Okay, so you can see a higher order service. People are willing to travel much further for the doctor, okay, or the hospital. So there we go. There's our sphere of influence for the medical facilities there. So again, let's click on the symbol there, and let's change these colors here. So let's go, first of all, let's go to the outline, make it that dash there. Let's change the color. Let's go something like hot pink or something. Yeah. Okay, there we go. That stands out. And let's go for the color. And remember, you can change the color over here as well. Later, we get a bit more control of some of the features. And let's choose, let's choose the color first. I'm going to go for a sort of pink here, bulbs. And I'm going to choose the color properties, and let's ramp up transparency to about 60. Looks delicious. Okay, now you might want to just change the order. Okay, so you can see there that supermarket actually stands out, and actually let's click on in the table of contents. Click slowly, so click once, wait, click again. I can call this sphere of influence supermarket. Do that, and do the same for medical. Okay, so there we go, looking pretty nice. So you can see, actually people are willing to travel far more for medical purposes than they are for a supermarket. Okay, before we go, let's check out the range. So measure the distance. Should automatically latch on to that point. Okay, and there to the CBD. So missing CBD, there we go. 80 kilometers, 80.31 kilometers. So someone who really likes that doctor, really likes that hospital. it seems to be the maximum range. We can just double check, but it should be, yeah, that's definitely that. So 81 kilometers, our range for the medical facilities there. I'm just going to show you now a different way, which is often a bit easier, particularly if you've got a lot more fields of a particular service. So let's go clear in our attribute table. Remember, oops, interviews, right click, attribute table. Okay, so let's clear it. We've cleared our selection, so none of the points are selected anymore. Okay, and what we can do is select by attributes. So click on that. We're in the interviews layer, that's right. A new selection, we want a new selection. We don't want to add to the current selection or anything like that, not in this case. We want a new selection, click on new expression. Now, first of all, our little expression builder, actually quite easy. So we want where YU in Petropolis is equal to, and it'll automatically fill it with all the possibilities there. So let's go for leisure and tourism. Okay, and then click OK. It's going to select all those, and if you want, you can actually just click down this bottom to only show the selected records. Now they're going to be selected here, but everything else is also going to show here. Oops, it's down the bottom. There it is. So let's just go down here so we can double check, and it's only going to show the selected records, and that's what we want. Good. So get that out of the way. Go back to our analysis and tools and our minimum bound in geometry. Okay, same thing. On our interviews, our output layer, let's call it tourism. And again, let's do convex hull and then run. Boom, wow. Okay, so we've got some people traveling pretty far for tourism in this case here. Okay, which makes sense. It's something that in terms of frequency, it's not something you're going to do all the time. And so people generally will travel a bit further for it. Okay, let's move this maybe down the bottom there, and now let's play around with the colors. So let's select that over here. I'm going to choose an outline of 2, make it dashed. Let's go with what have we got there? We've got yellow, we've got that. Let's go for, don't know, let's go for green, lime green. Yeah, hideous. Okay, and the color, let's also make that some sort of toxic green. Oops, and let's change that. There we go, about 60%, and apply. Whoa, wow, beautiful. Okay, let's clear our collection. Okay, you got your CBD there, indicated by a little star. Zoom out, let's turn off those points now. Oops, there we go. And there you go, you got your 3 spheres of influence. I can close down that as well. So you got your 3 spheres of influence. Let's just add into the tourism layer. There we go. Okay, hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.